Let's bring in Texas Congressman Roger Williams, chairman of the House Small Business Committee. So which side wins here, Congressman? The Texas Democrats say, you know, they inspired California to do its own tit-for-tat redistricting, and as far as they're concerned, that's a win.
Well, their bar is so low. I mean, the fact that we can do this, and this is all legitimate in Texas, and these Democrats got elected to represent people. They got represented to make hard decisions, not run off. They got represented to make the decisions that help what the people of Texas want. And one thing comes to mind especially is the issues we had in Kerrville, Texas several weeks ago with the flooding. They walked on that. They turned their back on the people that were directly affected by that. So if that's a win for them, that's the bar that we could live with forever as conservatives, and it would be fine. But Republicans are doing the right thing. The governor's doing the right thing, and we're going to we'll see what happens with the amount of districts we get. But you know, the Democrats are all worried about what's happening in Texas, and everything we're doing here is legal, as opposed to some of these other states that have done it before, and there's no elsewhere to go. So it's kind of funny where they stand. But if that's their victory level, then so be it.
Yeah, it's interesting that California Governor Gavin Newsom wants to trample all over his state's redistricting commission, and yet he presents this as upholding democracy.
Well, I think, Gavin Newsom speaks for himself, but you're right. He's going over the independent commission that is supposed to do the things they do in California on elections. And unlike us, we're doing things legally. Everything we're doing is legal in Texas.
Yeah. Kevin McCarthy, the former Speaker of the House, had some thoughts about this. Here's what the former Speaker had to say.
Gavin is now trying to run for president. So what he's proposing to do is go against the Constitution of California, have the legislature vote to take these lines. They don't even draw these lines. They just introduced them this Friday when no one's paying attention. But instead of having 9 competitive seats, it will only have 2. So it's not a 5-seat change. This is a 9-seat change.
And California's representation in your body, the U.S. Congress, is already minimizing the impact of Republicans in that state. 40% of the state is Republican. Only about 17% of the California congressional seats are held by Republicans.
Well, they're just breaking the law. They got, again, Trump syndrome. I mean, they got Texas syndrome now, and they got Trump syndrome, trying to do what they can. But Newsom's running for president, and if this is how he's going to run, again, that's fine. That's fine with us. And you know, the other thing, John, is I'm an employer, and of course chair of the Small Business Committee. But I can't imagine having an employee walk out on the job for 2 weeks or 3 weeks. I mean, where do these people work? Do they have a job or not? And so it's. Go ahead.
Well, do you think that voters are going to punish these Texas House Democrats who ran out of the state rather than face a vote?
No, I think they will. I mean, they want people who's going to represent them. They want people who will make tough decisions and not run. They want people who are going to adhere to the law and not break the law. I mean, that's what people want. In Texas, if you stand for law and order, if you stand for less government, you stand for standing up for tough decisions, you usually win. But they don't do that, so I think that we could have a pretty big day in Texas come election night.
It's going to be interesting to see whether this California thing goes through, despite the presence of that commission. Congressman Roger Williams, Republican from Texas, thank you.
John.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.